Chafing Armor Podcast, episode 120, Salt and Steel. Welcome back to the Chafing Armor Podcast. I'm your host and lovable Dungeon Master, Michael Corley, and with me tonight is Izzy. Izzy, tell everyone who you will be playing.
Hello, everyone. My name is Izzy, and I am playing Merezi Mugraw, half-orc barbarian. Has a cool scar on her nose.
She do. And also with us tonight, probably with some scars with all the battles she's fought, is Riley. Riley, tell us who you will be playing.
Hi, I'm Riley, and I'm playing Athora Greyfield, a tiefling fighter.
Yes, and also with us tonight, sadly, James cannot be on. I was having last-minute technical issues. We will get him on next time. He will be missed. We have Lee. Lee, tell us who you will be playing.
G'day everybody, my name is Lee and I am playing Distant Bells, a Kinku rogue whose name is not Screams at Weddings for the last damn time.
That is the new Bear Boy. And speaking of one who was known to say Bear Boy is Dare. Dare, tell us who you will be playing.
Howdy y'all, I am Dare and I am playing Tix Berchmanson, your larger-than-life paladin. Dun dun dun.
And when we last left our players, they had come to Kalimvor, a city on the north side of the Sand Swallow Sea. They had met Magistrate Onyxword. They had stopped a horrible hunger ghost as it was killing tieflings. They had defeated some strange entombed, which are frozen undead. They had recovered a interesting broken rapier that Thora had recovered, as well as a magic ring of unknown origin. But now we have a balancing act, and I know what your favorite role is. Dare, I would like you to make a reflex saving throw.
Really? Are we starting out that way tonight? Starting that way.
This is just to stop him falling out of Audrey.
That's right.
And that is a flat 17.
A flat 17. So you do not fall over, but you cannot move. You are in the armory of the blacksmith, the master blacksmith, Thackum Cragmane, who y'all had saved the family of, particularly Merezi, by the way, had saved the family of an entomb that had burst out under the floorboards to kill him and his family, and y'all had saved him. And so, not for free, but in thanks, he is prioritizing getting you fitted for some new armor, and he put you in the biggest, heaviest, full plate battle armor that you could possibly imagine. It's way too big for you. It's way too heavy, and you cannot move. What would you like to do?
I kind of lift up my gauntleted hands and roll them over, feeling the weight and realizing that there's no way. And so I look over them. How about something a little more form-fitting, like scale mail?
I think that's a good idea. I think maybe we can work with scale mail. I had a customer that skipped out on me several months ago. It was a halfling, but it was a little on the small side, and I think we can work with it and make it perfect just for you. Let me help you get out of that. Miss, would you help? And Athora, you've been sitting and watching, and kind of just sort of daydreaming, and then you suddenly realize that Tix is about to fall over.
I go and help where I can.
Between you and Merezi, you are actually at the home of the Master Blacksmith, and his wife is there with the children, and they are actually preparing a lunch for you. And something to note is that both of the children are tieflings.
Aww.
And they are absolutely adorable with their little oversized horns on their head, and they're running around. Sorry? Oh, just general Oz. That's good. And the wife asks you what if there's anything particular that you like.
I'm good with... sorry.
Always
Oh, wait, I was here, right?
Yes, Morezi, she's asking if there's anything you like for to eat.
Yeah. I think Athora is in a different place.
Yes, you were in the workshop.
Molly's a fan of chicken.
You know, I heard of a place called Ye Chicken that makes is supposed to make good chicken, but I heard that the people who make it are racist, and so I would never actually order from.
Definitely not. I've been meaning these past couple of years to try a vegetable.
Oh, I could probably help you with that. And the kids both laugh and they go, "No vegetables, no vegetables."
Sounds good. Thank you.
She gets to cooking on that just outside. It is full daylight, Distant Bells. And you are outside of the house and the workshop are backed up to each other. Is there anything particular that you would be doing right now?
I'd be keeping an eye out for signs of those Kinku that the mayor / sheriff or whatever the heck his name is, or role is, or magistrate, I can't remember. He said we're here because, yeah, we're not rare, but we don't exactly make ourselves known.
Yes, and y'all do have a tendency, kind of like hobbits they talk about in the Hobbit book, that just you have a way of not being seen.
Yes.
Even when you're not rogues, y'all are just kind of a stealthy bunch, which is exactly why he, as you said, profiled you when y'all first met. And even as I say this, and as you're looking around, you see in the distance Magistrate Olfar Onyxword walking straight towards you. And he's clearly walking straight towards you, and he's got something rolled up in his hand.
Well, the only thing I've done is make a wizard piss himself, so I have nothing to be worried about.
He comes up closer, and he says, "Distant Bells, right?"
Oh, that's right. He actually can understand, or was able to understand what I... Bells nods.
And he nods a couple of times, and this is maybe about a day and a half after everything that happened. And he says, "I was talking to the young woman who was sadly lost her tiefling boyfriend, and she told me what happened. It was a terrible business, of course. But she also told me that someone was especially kind to her in her moment of need." And he just kind of tilts his head at you.
Bells avoids his gaze.
"Well, I just want to say that I have had some trouble with folks not unlike you in the past, and I'm afraid I may have misjudged you, and I would like to formally apologize to you, sir."
There's a... Can I get him to roll a spot check or perception check or something? Because there's a...
Yeah, absolutely.
I wonder if he knows, if he sees the imperceptible bristling of Bells' feathers at the incredibly inconsiderate, damned if you like, lumping me in with, or judgment at first, guilty by association. There you go, guilty by race.
I don't know if you're talking about you rolling or he rolling, but he rolls a natural 20, so he knows.
Oh, he saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, he sees it, and he says, "This is difficult. This ain't Zental Keep, and I try to judge. We have a not inconsiderable tiefling population here, and many other people. We even have a few drow that live in our village that have proven themselves. And I try to not prejudge people by their feathers." And with that, he holds out the thing in his hand. It is a small rolled scroll. And he says, This is a letter of introduction from myself to Alderman Beelza Bajan. She is the one that I had mentioned before, who has a kinku in her employ. Alderman Bajan is a very important member of our society. She's one of the rulers, essentially, of this town. And you will find it difficult to meet with her without a letter of induction. So, I wanted to give this to you, and I think it may smooth things over for you.
Bells hesitantly, but well, he thinks about it for a second and then kind of inclines his head and the words "Thank you kindly" in a southern bow.
He is very, very southern.
But yeah, thank you kindly, and he takes the scroll or the letter of introduction and safe keeps it away in one of the many internal pouches in his cloak.
If y'all do find some extra time here, I would like to speak to y'all collectively. I've gotten some word that there may be some trouble as we get closer to the ceremony of the Salt of the Sea. Rumors and such, you know how rumors are. But y'all have proven yourselves in Masgate at Trouble on a Dock, and I suspect there may be so again.
On the dock in Masgate?
Yes, that was where the part that he had heard about y'all, other than the song The Chicken Shack, was the fight that y'all had with Punchy McBeardface.
But he's saying there's going to be trouble in the town, and he would like our help, essentially.
Yes, and the ceremony takes place near the ocean.
And our reputation precedes us, essentially.
Precisely. He's saying that he may need some extra muscle or help.
Bells will incline his head and pass that information on at the first opportunity.
Okay. We cut back to Tix, and he is fitting you now for the scale armor. It is much lighter than full plate armor.
Yes.
And he is working with it. He tells you that it's going to be several days before he can get it, exactly to your specifications. Because, of course, it was made for someone else. But he thinks that he can get it very well made. And he's asking you lots of really specific questions. What kind of weapon do you use? He's looking at your crossbows and, thinking about how they'll fit on the back. I mean, it's, how your pack is going to go on, just everything. Very, very detailed. Is there anything particular that you want to tell him about your new armor?
It needs to have free movement for both my axe and my shield, and good hooks to clasp on my backpack so that the backpack won't fall off. Just bands of armor for my legs and gauntlets.
Would you have the symbol of Garl Glittergold on it somewhere, or?
No, that comes on my my stole and the ornament I carry around my neck.
Okay. I just, for some reason, I had this weird, envision in my head of, one massive pauldron on one shoulder with the symbol on it. I don't know why. It's just the image I had in my head of Tix and his armor.
Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Space Marine. Yeah, we can do that. That's not a bad idea. Okay. How about the symbol and sigil of Garl Glittergold on my shoulder pauldrons?
He can absolutely do that. Obviously, he takes some sketches down from what you show him with your tabard, and he's very familiar with emblazing symbols on armor. This is, again, y'all are going to have to give him several days. He's not really giving you a price discount per se. He's knocking a little bit off, but he's put you to the front of the line because obviously he has many commissions that he has to go through, and otherwise it would be months before he would be able to get to you.
Right.
And as we all know, people, you don't expect things for free from artists.
Ever.
That is right.
Pay
Pay
your
the artists what they're worth. Even if you are saved from an entombed undead, you still pay your artist.
That's right.
And that's when the wife calls in that lunch is ready, and all of y'all amble in, and they've like had to bring in chairs from other parts of the house because it's normally only 4 chairs at the dinner table. And you'll all sit down and enjoy a delicious feast with, but still modest feast with vegetables. He says, "Try these. This is a little thing we call broccoli."
Wow, something besides umami.
While the meal is going on, Tix. Not Tix. I don't know why I call myself Tix.
Yeah.
Bells will
Envy.
Not really. Bells will like a tape recording. The voice of the magistrate will kind of sort of come out like a direct transcription of what he said. Essentially, he'd like to meet us at our earliest convenience because of the festival troubles he anticipates.
You relay that, and by the way, as soon as the kids haven't really seen a lot of you, as soon as they see this, they go, again, do me, and they demand that you imitate their voice.
Bells does so.
And they are delighted. They are just cackling and with delight as their exact voice and their exact phrases come back out. And the mother actually wants to talk to you a lot, Athora. And she's asking you what life is like as a tiefling out in the world.
It can be a little hard. I mean, it's not fun some places, for sure.
No. I worry about the kids, and I want what's best for them, and I know that sometimes tieflings get a bit of a bad rap.
Yeah, it can be tough. Just make sure to be with them in their lives. Like, just make sure you're there because they'll need it eventually. Even if they don't want someone there, they'll want eventually you there to support them. Make sure they stay out of trouble, but make sure no one's trying to get them in trouble.
Defensive training might be
It's confidence mostly, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Just kind of don't let them think that they're freaks. Just because they are, wink wink.
If there's a good temple around here, you could have them train with the monks. Or if someone was willing to train them as a guard or with other training. I know I got my training at the cleric's temple. My martial training was taught to me by some good priests that were able to give me a good head start.
Now, there is a large temple of Isis here, and certainly I could see if they have an aptitude for that sort of thing. Goodness knows the world needs more clerics or paladins.
Paladin is the way to go. Dun, dun, dun.
Definitely where to put those skill points into. So at this point, y'all, I don't want to railroad y'all or tell you what to do. You can either go with or go separately to see this alderman, where supposedly there is another Kinku there. Y'all can go to see Olfar, the magistrate, at his request, or you can do something else if you'd like.
I think I meant to do this last episode. Is there a Fletcher's in this town?
There absolutely is, and certainly Thakmar knows them because he works with all of the people who are of the martial persuasion.
Tix is wondering if he could go back over to the blacksmith while Morezi is going to the Fletcher, and he's going to see if he could get banded mail instead of scale mail.
So like splint or banded.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, and he talks to him about it. It's like, yeah, I think that might be a better fit for you. I think this weight is an issue.
Right.
That we can probably find something a little bit better. I might need to work a little more from scratch, which will add a few more days, but I think it will be worth it.
I think so too. Thank you for working with me. My God will bless you, and I will bless you, and we will be able to smite many monsters with the work that you have done.
Delightful. And speaking of your god, might I pull you over to the drawing room and have a quick word with you, my good paladin it is, right?
I am a paladin of Garl Glittergold.
Delightful.
And he assumes the position with hands on his hips, chin slightly lifted.
Little light shows behind him.
Yes.
Yes. Let us retire to the drawing room real quick. He lets you in, and the door shuts, and he offers you brandy if you'd like some.
I'm good, thank you. I appreciate
it. So, I don't know quite how to put this, especially as you are a man of the cloth. I made a bit of a deal with the devil a few years ago.
Well, that is tragic, but it can happen to the best of us.
Yes. So, you might have noticed that my children are tiefling.
I have noticed.
That is the result of that, and the local townsfolk think that we are, have been cursed in one way or another. Here is the thing, is the demon wants to claim my third child, which we do not have yet.
That is a problem, yes.
Yes.
What are the specifics of your deal, and who did you make your deal with?
So there is a demon, I believe he is called, well, I don't like to say the name out loud, but he leans forward in. Bane. The demon is named Bane. Yes, Batman. So, what are the odds? Just curious. What are the odds of distant bells listening in on this conversation?
I'll roll a percentage die to find out. Pretty high. Yeah. I rolled a 62, so...
Okay. Then give me a listen and a stealth check, please.
Oh, my two favorites.
Yes, ones you are good at.
I mean, I could
How come he always gets the ones he's good at?
Because I'm doing the things that are part of that.
Yeah, well, just wait till the evil demons attack you and you have to make wisdom saving throws. And
yeah.
They're just pop them off you left and right.
Okay, well, the move silently is 32.
Okay, I think they don't notice you.
And the listen, it's not so good. It's not bad, but... Oh, okay, it's 28.
28, okay.
Yeah, I rolled a 20.
So you are well, and tell me, like, what is the motive behind him listening in on this conversation? I mean, is it like, I don't trust him, I'm just curious, it's just in my nature?
It probably would have been, he would have caught the whole, can I speak to you in the drawing room thing, and that would have piqued his curiosity about the whole, this can't be discussed out in the workshops, so what's being talked about? I'm going to go and have a literal sticky beak.
So it's not the end of the world or the other things. The reason that I had to mention that specifically is because when you and Merezi snuck in to steal the fireworks for Osokai's funeral, you snuck into the mayor's mansion.
Yes.
Where you were then transported down below to be sacrificed to a demon. And that demon's name was Bane.
Bane.
Knew I remembered that name.
Yeah.
That's
and,
where it's so familiar. Okay, yep.
and it was also a demon that was supposed to be like permanently banished from this realm and was attempting to be resurrected. Was the only other thing. So you did fight essentially a zombie corpse with a metal arm or metal glove that was somehow empowered by Bane.
Yes.
But I did want to mention that because of course you would go, huh?
That would definitely pique my interest since that name is very familiar now.
Yes. But cutting back to the conversation with you, Dare, he says the exact wording was, I was promised, and I was a foolish young man. I was promised success. I was promised wealth. And my wife and I could not have children. And he promised us 3 children, but that he would lay claim to the 3rd.
That poses a problem. What did you give to bind the deal?
And he, you didn't think about it because he's a blacksmith, but he's actually never taken off his gloves. And he takes off his glove, and his right hand, it's very unsettling. It's like metal has been infused into his flesh. Not in like the cool way, or not in the. It's like it's just like randomly bonded with his skin. Like there are just little glints of metal all over his hand. And in the center is a sigil that you recognize as a demon sigil. And it surely is what, is empowering the contract.
I will consult with Lord Glittergold and see what we can do about this.
I deeply appreciate it if there's anything that I can do. I love my children dearly, and I do not want to lose the 3rd. I should say, my wife is with child.
When is she due?
Not for many months, but, the clock.
Yes, I do.
Bells takes this opportunity to slip away.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably not hard as the door opens. I have come to know that there is a certain sound that doors, people make right before they open a door. And the door opens and the 2 of them walk out, and he, raises his voice. Just, boring. Didn't want to bore my poor wife. Always hears about my business. I think banded mail will suit you better, and we'll get you. I want to take a few more measurements, and then you'll be right as rain and ready to go.
Sounds like a plan. I'm going to head up to the temple and spend some time in prayer.
Okay. Now, there is not a temple to Gargle Glittergold here.
No, but there is a temple to Isis, and they are likely to have private alcoves where Tix can commune.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously there are gods who are directly opposed to Gargle Glittergold, but in the most part, obviously most gods worshipped in this world are either good or neutral, and they are not opposed to Gargle Glittergold.
And many small places would likely have quote-unquote non-denominational parish or church or something where, there might be an overarching god or goddess that it would be specifically for. Like a farming village might have a church for a specific farming god, but, anybody who worships anything can go in there and still get what they need, because, you can't expect everybody to worship the same god in a single village.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So you make your way there. I'm going to get to that in just a second. Is there anything the rest of y'all would like to do now?
I figured it out. Merezi would like to go in the market to buy a, it was a composite short bow, which is, Merezi specifically wanted to see if there was a master fletcher, some experienced fellow, because according to after a long scouring of the player's handbook, if I pay 300 gold instead of 75, I can get one that a composite short bow. I can use a well-made one. Merezi could use her strength bonus while rolling attack rolls with it.
She wants a masterwork composite short bow, which is 300 extra on top of the original 75.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I was going to go for just 300 a +3 instead of +4 strength, because Merezi doesn't have +4, so why would she... That's just the maximum amount of strength bonus it can use, and why would I want the maximum to be anything more than what she's probably not going to have anymore for a long time.
But if I remember correctly, you still have to pay the initial cost for the weapon, and then it gets upgraded to masterwork. I could be wrong. But...
Well, I do have exactly that much gold in my inventory. I don't know if that's a mistake, but Dad said I should go with it.
No, you as I said, y'all all have the money that you had in your inventory, and then you have a group pool of 1,000 gold. That's just a general. It's all of the adventuring you're doing minus all of the things you spent with Osakai. The amount of gold you spent to try to save Osakai wasn't actually as high as you'd think, because y'all gave them a bunch of items that were very valuable. You gave them the Staff of Sleep, you gave them the Feast of Famine, you gave them the 4-leaf clover. So those were worth hundreds of gold. But anyway, I would like you to make a quick spot check for me, Merezi.
All right. That is a very, very good 10.
A 10. So you absolutely don't see what it is, but just for the briefest of moment, and this is your busy marketplace, you're walking down the cobblestones, the sounds of horses' hooves, people chatting, you just realize, like, somebody is watching you in the alleyway.
Hey!
And, like, several people look, because you're so loud, and you turn, and, like, there's the slightest, like, of a cloak, but, like, whatever or whoever it is gone. With the 10, you just don't see them. They're gone. But you are sure somebody was watching you. And it's not quite danger sense, because it wasn't an attack. But, like, it's that feeling of eyes on you that's part of your danger sense.
Oh yeah, between being a barbarian and now a ranger, Merezi is Spider-Man.
She does whatever a half-orc can. Can she eat a whole chicken? Yes, she can. She's a half-orc. And that's when you see ahead a sign swinging in the breeze, and it has an arrow splitting an apple. And you know that you have found the Fletcher.
I would like to buy your strongest composite short bow. I've been getting into hitting things with bows recently, and I'd like to go pro. I have money.
And with that, the proprietor of the shop, it's a relatively small shop. It's not like a cubby hole, but it's not huge. Like, turns around and just poses for you. Like, golden hair sweeping in the wind, pointy ears of a high elf. And he goes, "Do you now?"
Yes!
And tell me, do you have the skill? Do you have the drive? Do you have the finesse to wield a bow?
Is this town gatekeeping? What's going on here?
This is why the ranger community is toxic.
That's right. Everyone here prejudges you.
Now tell me, name 3 famous Fletchers, and maybe,
That's right.
maybe I will let you have a bow.
Well, gotta start somewhere.
Oh, well, I have these, and he gestures like they're the kind of bows that you'd pull off the rack if you were joining, like, infantry. They're perfectly serviceable. And he goes, I would be happy to sell you one of these. I can get you a reasonable price.
Looking for a composite short bow. Kind you could really use some muscle in.
Ah, I see that you are a connoisseur. See, let me see. And he looks up. He's tall, but he's not as tall as you. And he looks up at you, and he kind of taps his finger, and he goes, I have just the thing for you. Just the thing. And he sweeps underneath. And he pulls out just this glorious compound bow. And he actually kind of dusts off like the tiniest bit of dust from it. And he goes, this was forged by the high elves of the Pinta Plains. They hunt wild beasts as they stalk the plains, going dozens of miles an hour, and they chase them on foot and they fire upon them. It is a glorious weapon, and you would be honored to wield it. May I have your name?
Merezi of Clan McGraw. I'm from, west of here, I think.
Yes,
I don't know, compasses confuse me.
I have heard of the Mugra clan, of course. I can see it in your eyes, the fire in them. Surely you would be one who could wield the strength required for this bow. Only the strongest of the high elves can do so. Here, take it. Take it and feel it.
She draws the thing back. She's honestly like surprised by how much exertion she needs for it. Mm-hmm. He can probably see it in her face, but she pulls the whole thing back as far as it'll go.
Yup.
And he holds out a single arrow. And you look now, and you can see that his relatively small shop actually goes straight back, and there's actually a small range that's away from the main traffic, and there's like these kind of wooden slats on each side to kind of protect, misfires. And he says, give it a try.
15.
15. So it doesn't hit dead center, but it gets in the one round out, and the one thing you feel, though, is that there's like almost the ground vibrates with the thud as it hits. It is just a solid smack because there's so much heft behind it. And he goes, good show, Morezi of the Mugra clan. You are glorious, and I will let you have this for a mere 500 gold.
You see, I did my research. I did price comparing. This is probably 375.
I see you have read the Blue Scrolls. You drive a hard bargain, and I want you to have this. I want only someone of your strength could possibly wield it. I tell you what, I will give you this for 400 gold.
Do you like shovels?
I do not have an opinion about shovels.
370 and a shovel of digging.
He kind of tilts his head a little bit, and he says, show me.
Well, I don't have any dirt, but...
She rifles through her backpack.
No,
it's a shovel.
He just literally means show him. He takes the shovel, and he actually casts a spell. And you see that the shovel glows. And he just tilts his head back at you, and he goes, done.
Nice.
And please deduct the shovel of digging from your inventory and add a composite bow.
And that was 370, was it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's hope the
Wonderful.
shovel was worth 5 gold.
And he actually leans after the transaction is completed. He says, "By the way, my name is Blaze Grassmist."
Thanks,
And,
Brass Smith.
just so you know, if you have any more of those magic items you come across, bring them my way. I'll.
Morezi kind of thinks on it a little and leaves the shop with a wordless sort of nod of her head.
Okay.
And rolls another spot check the moment she leaves the and that's an 8, which is worse than before.
You don't sense anything, but you do wonder if someone is watching you. Like you can't quite feel it. Like something is going on, but you can't parse it out. Tix, you are in the temple of Lady Isis. There is, unsurprisingly, a huge fountain in the middle with a statue of Lady Isis, a beautiful sort of aquatic elf-looking maiden. But there are several alcoves to the side where you can light a candle, and it's generally implied that you'll, put in a small donation for your time there.
Tix puts a gold piece in.
That is more than sufficient.
And goes and gets lights a candle in honor of the patron of this temple, but takes a candle to go and light and pray to Garl Glittergold.
And first of all, I'd like you to make a divinity check.
All right. That is a 26.
26. Okay. So, you are meditating and communing, and you can see like the edges of the connection with with Garl Glittergold beginning to form. But just as it's finishing, something else happens. Suddenly, you are underneath Loft's manor, Bainwright Manor in Masgate. And you are standing on the steps where you fought that dark paladin. And she's standing before you, alive. And she tilts her head with her long white hair flowing from beneath her thin helm. And she says, "Hello, Tix. It's good to see you. Do you remember me?"
Yes, I remember you. And what are you doing here?
Well, as much as I would love to tell you that I am Tazis, the woman that you destroyed, I am not. I am Destiny Seeker. And you have gained a greater connection with me, which allows for me to more easily...
This is an interesting turn of events.
And it is traditional for beings of my kind to appear as the previous owner. And so that is why I appear to you as Tazis. Please do not imply anything that I am a dark paladin. And she laughs, and it's this tinkling drow laugh.
Yes, why would I ever expect that?
Well, I know that you had gotten some unsettling news about me from Prognati. He had said that I was evil, and I just wanted to set your mind at ease that I take on the characteristics of the person who wields me. And as you can imagine, being wielded by a dark paladin of Loth for many years had a bit of an impact on me.
I can imagine.
So I want you to know that my desire is not to manipulate you or turn you or anything like that. It is simply that we would do great things, that we would seek our destiny together. And that you would help shape me. And that, heaven forbid, years from now, when when I pass to a new owner, that I will appear to them and help shape them in a way that is light and good.
Which I believe is why Lord Glittergold had me become one of his foremost paladins, so that you would be changed and not I.
And she reaches forward and she's gesturing like to take your hand. Will you let her take it?
Not at this time.
Okay.
We will work on this relationship.
Go to couples therapy.
That's right. She says, you felled Tazus with your inflict wounds, with your condemnation from Dugarl Glittergold, and as such it has given me a certain empowerment. The next time that you need to use that spell, make sure you are wielding me, and I can amplify your...
That sounds interesting. We will try it out in battle. Pure battle against the unrighteous.
I love it. And now we return you to your regularly scheduled. You actually, it's important to know that, obviously this is, D&D, and you do directly communicate with your god, but you usually don't just chat with Garl Glittergold. But at this moment, you do actually appear in that cavern that you had seen so many years ago, where all of the walls are covered with gems, and you have the feeling that Garl Glittergold can look through any of them to see anywhere in the world where there is a gem. And he says, "Hello, Tix."
And Tix immediately bows before his patron.
It's good to see you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you, Lord. I am called to serve.
You have many challenges ahead of you. Your ward is going to begin coming out of his place of hiding. I want you to know that all of your hard work in keeping him hidden was not in vain. If you had revealed him too early, he would have been taken and slain. I cannot tell you right now why he is important, but I know that you know that he is. Please protect him, especially now as he will begin coming forth.
I'm sure he will be a completely cooperative adolescent teenager.
You have it right. You have it very right.
Did
I believe,
the sun just suddenly blot out with all that shade?
There was some serious shade being thrown there. Yes, I'm sure that Thora felt her spine tingles. But he says, "I believe you were asking me about Bane."
Yes, I seem to have a local problem that may have greater implications. That this Bane and is trying to come back into the material plane and take this. He made a deal with this blacksmith for the third child in return for fame and fortune. You'd think that the humans would learn not to make deals with the various underfolk.
You would think.
Is there a way to break the sigil? Is there a way to break the bond other than with the blacksmith's death or the child's death?
So there is a couple of options. The first is sever his hand. This is very intentional because the only way he can save his child that way is ruining his trade. It would ruin his ability to be a blacksmith by cutting off his right hand.
I figured that was one of it.
Yes, unfortunately. Demons do like these little things. I appreciate a good joke as much as everyone, but that's a little mean. There is one other way.
It's just a little bit mean. It's fine.
Garl Glittergold is literally a god of pranks.
He's the trickster god.
He is a trickster god, yes, but he's not cruel. He says there is another way, is if you can summon Bane at Zental Keep. There is a place where this can be done. You can defeat him, and if you defeat him, he will not be destroyed, because he is a demon after all, but he will be so depowered and a shade of himself for hundreds of years that the deal will be essentially defunct. I will also tell you that if you go to Zentalteep, there will be incredible danger, and I do not mean the simple racism that exists there. There is dark works going there, not just with Bane, and you will be in danger.
Can I defeat him on my own?
I do not think you could defeat him on your own, but with your friends, I think that you would stand a chance.
Yes.
He is a demon, after all.
He is a demon, after all.
And he is relatively weak right now, but even in that state, he would have the power to destroy you, even with my assistance.
Well, let's hope the blacksmith goes for the painful but easier option.
Okay. And with that, the vision begins to fade, and he just calls after you, and he says, "And remember, I'm sorry to say it one last time, please, God, your ward." And
always,
with that,
my lord.
You come back to reality, and you hear a commotion, and you look up, and you peek out of the alcove, and your ward is eating part of the fountain.
Oh.
He is literally chewing on the side of the fountain and consuming it. And people are screaming and yelling and pointing and saying, "Stop that!"
And Tix goes and scoops him up immediately and digs a gem out of his back pocket and says, "No. Bad elemental."
"Tix, I am hungry and I was bored and you were just sitting there and not doing anything."
Well, it's time you start to learn to read a book and learn a trade.
Get a job, freeloader.
You beat me to it, you see.
So Tix is going to start teaching him
It's time you paid rent.
to read.
So you, I'm gonna cut forward here. Just cut forward a little bit. This is y'all's choice. Are you going to see the alderman, who may or may not have a kinku in their employ, or are y'all going to see the magistrate?
Alderman. Is that a name or a...
Alderman is a title. She is one of 12 aldermen of the city.
It's like
municipal assembly. Okay, member of a municipal assembly.
Yes. She is one of the 12 aldermen, so she literally runs the town. This town is technically under the kingdom of Hyboria, which is where Massgate and Zental Keep and all of that is. Though it has been conquered by both Beltrain and Hyboria many times over the centuries.
We, the party we're supposed to guard in a few couple days or so we should go see that old man, right?
Yes, we can go see the alderman.
Sounds good.
Okay. So it is now y'all are doing several things, and Tix getting your ward back. Your ward is really resisting education. Just FYI, the mom actually has some books from her children when they were younger that she's given to you to start working with him. He's threatened to eat the books, even though you know that he won't. And y'all are making your way down towards the magistrate's office, which is a part of a municipal building. And it's like dusk. It's early evening. And that's when you hear a sound. Quack, 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 quack. And by the way, just for context, y'all are walking with Penton. He had been helping Audrey. Audrey had been a little off, was starting to kind of phase a little bit, which was causing problems.
Phase?
And so now, yes, one of the abilities that Audrey gained when augmented by Prognati is actually phasing through solid objects.
Yeah. Okay.
But she was having a little trouble with that, and so he was helping her, and so that's what he was up to. So y'all are all walking now. You actually have Audrey with you walking behind, and you hear a caw-caw, caw-caw off in the distance. I would like everyone to make a spot check.
9.
9.
15 for ticks.
15, 8, and distant bells?
24.
24. So whoever made that sound was very, very stealthy. And so none of y'all catch it. But you, distant bells, who this is kind of what you do, notice things that other people don't notice, is out of the corner of your eye, you see on top of a building a black cloak just ruffle, and the proportions of the cloak kind of bend and swirl in a semi-unnatural way. Definitely not just with the wind. And the sound comes again, caw-caw, caw-caw, and then several figures start moving on nearby rooftops. And you are all attacked. You are all attacked from the rooftops. You are all attacked from multiple locations. Things are raining down upon you. And as those things come down, that's when it hits you, distant bells. Whoever made that sound is a kinku. And that's where we'll end Chafing Armor, episode 120. Thank you all for playing.
Thank you all
not
for listening.
killing us.
Thank you.
And
It's the worst voice crack I've ever had.
oh dear. As I have said many times before, I do try to do episodes where there isn't necessarily combat and where I can just let y'all have a little bit of fun. But if y'all, we want to encourage everyone. We have, by this time, definitely launched the Chafing Armor Wiki,
Yay,
which
wikis.
you can find at chafingarmor.fandom.com. So go to chafingarmor.fandom.com if you want to find out pictures and drawings and all kinds of things. If you want to find the true name of the rock elemental, who has not told Tix his name yet, we'll get to that in a very soon episode. You can go there and find that out. But thank you all for playing.
Thank you.
Thank you all for listening.
Wonderful. Morezi, you'll get a chance to use out that new bow, compound bow, and Dare, unfortunately, you won't get a chance to use that banded mail because he hasn't made it yet.
Right.
But definitely keep in mind, Athora, what that rapier might do, and Distant Bells, definitely, it'll be very interesting for you to find out just who is cawing out on the wind.
Mm.
So,
Dun, dun, dun.
good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
And we'll
And
see you on the YouTube and on your favorite podcast catcher. And
Indeed.
we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon, and we will roll with you soon.